Hello, this video is for IXL Activity A1.H.4. It is titled Properties of Equality. The 3-character code for this activity is Hotel 8, Quebec. So this activity is all about what you do to one side, you do to the other. Because whenever we talk about equality, we're talking about something with an equal sign, right? And we have a left side and a right side of the equal sign. And we know that as long as we do something to one side and we do it to the other, we maintain that level of equality. Now we can add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Those are the 4 different operations that we're going to be applying to equality here. And those are the properties that we're talking about. So the addition property of equality, subtraction property of equality, multiplication property of equality, and division property of equality. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to look at if this, then that. So we're saying if this is equal, then this is equal here. And what is the reason for it? And we're going to have to see what is it that they're doing to one side. Are they also doing it to the other side? And is it addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? So we start off with t equals 66u. Now over here on the left, we see where we're subtracting v from t. We've also subtracted v from 66u. So one way to look at this is we can see what's the same. Here's t and here's t. Here's 66u and here's 66u. And then what have they done to add on or subtract from it? Well, notice that they're subtracting v from it. Here we have minus v on both of them. So on this first situation, we would say that that would be the subtraction property of equality because we are subtracting the same value from each side. On the next question, which property of equality is shown below? If this is true, then this must be true also, or that is to say, if this is equal, right, then we're saying that this is also equal. So let's see, what do we have? We have negative 77m over here and negative 77 plus m. Here we have negative 61 and negative 61. It seems to be that we are, adding n, or that we're adding the value of n. So therefore, we are adding to each side. So we have the addition property of equality. So let's look at the next question here. Which property of equality is shown below? If this, then that. So here we have 3 over here, and we have 3 here. And then we also have yz here, and we have yz here. So we are, I know it looks like a negative 30, but notice how they have the negative sign raised up. So we're actually adding something to it, right? We're adding the value of negative 30. So this is the addition property of equality. Which property of equality is shown below? So here we have s, and here we have s. Here we have t plus 40 and t plus 40. So it looks like we are multiplying both sides by 72. So since we're multiplying both sides by 72, it is the multiplication property of equality. Next question. Which property of equality is shown below? If fg equals 71, then fg divided by h equals 71 divided by h. Well, I pretty much said it there as I went through it. We have fg here and 71 here, and both sides are being divided by h because every fraction is a division problem. So in that case, this is the division property of equality because both sides are being divided by the value of h. Kind of erase that there so we can see a little clearer, right? Which property of equality is shown below? Here we have n on the left, and we have 72 minus 23. Now again, here's our n here, and here's our 72 minus 23 here. Again, it's a fraction, right? So they're both being divided by the value of negative 55. So this is the division property of equality. Again, it's all about what we do to one side, we do to the other. As long as we do the same thing to both sides, we're going to maintain that level of equality between the two different statements. Which property of equality is shown below? Here I have the f over g. Now they want you to jump on this and say, oh, it's division, but no, they just have a f over g there, f divided by g. Here we have negative 83 there, so we're good to go on that. So it looks like that they have subtracted the value of h from each side. Therefore, this is the subtraction property of equality. Which property of equality is shown below? Well, here we have negative 40. Here we have negative 23x. Here we have negative 40. Here we have negative 23x. What's changed from one statement to the other? Well, both sides are being multiplied times 12. So since we are multiplying both sides by 12, this is the multiplication property of equality. And final question, here I have the value of c, the value of c. Here I have b minus 34 and b minus 34. So what are they doing? They are subtracting a negative 62 from it. So here's the tricky thing about it. A while ago we had a problem where it was a negative 30 that was being added. We said it was the addition property of equality. Notice the subtraction sign right here. So we indeed are subtracting. Technically, minus a negative is the same as plus a positive. But since we have the subtraction sign, this officially should be answered as the subtraction property of equality. That's why I chose this particular question to include in there, to make sure that you understood. If you see the subtraction sign, then it is indeed subtraction property of equality instead of the addition property of equality. If we look back at that one that was negative 30, right here, notice that the negative sign is raised. I think I'm on red. Yep. Notice that the minus sign is actually raised up in the position of a negative to show this is negative 30. And so we're adding it on. That's why it was the addition property of equality. So those are all of my examples for IXL A1.H.4 Properties of Equality. Good luck with your activity.